Do you want to know how to split user stories fast in under 4 minutes? Then make sure to watch this video until the end. Let's get started right away. So let me explain this with an example. Just to illustrate things, I will here capture a user story. Let's say for now you are working in an insurance company and this insurance company has an application for the front employees. So let's assume the user story is, as a user, I want to be able to onboard a client so that I can interact with the client. And also let's assume we have acceptance criteria for this user story. The first one is the user is able to upload and remove documents. The user is able to mark the client as suspicious based on the behavior. Compliance members get a notification in case of a suspicious client, automated. The user can manage client data. And the last, acceptance criteria, the user is able to perform all these actions in Google Chrome and Microsoft Edge browser. So what we see here right now is a valid user story. We have the description and acceptance criteria. As we see, this user story could be quite complex to implement, and based on the velocity of your development team, you need to split it up. So how can we actually split this user story fast and easy? Let me show you how. The very first thing I would recommend is always having a look at the acceptance criteria. We have right now 6 here, and acceptance criteria in the end represent functional and non-functional requirements. So one thing is we could go and take one split per acceptance criteria. So if we just have a look on the first acceptance criteria, it says the user is able to upload and remove documents. This one is basically an own story itself, so we can split that up very easily. If you think that splitting by acceptance criteria is not good enough, let's have a look on criteria 2 and 3. So the user is able to mark the client as suspicious and as that compliance gets a notification whenever that happens. This sounds like a workflow in the application. So let's have a look on such a workflow. Let's assume another business analyst or even you has drawn the following diagram. So the onboarding looks like the employee can enter client details, and after this step the system's checking if we have suspicious behavior. So maybe that's just a drop down or a checkbox, and based on this there is yes and no, and for each path we could potentially split the user story. So for the happy path that there's no suspicious behavior, this could be user story 1 to implement. If there is some suspicious behavior, we can create user story 2 and track everything under it. This is splitting by paths in a workflow. This is also valid for many other possibilities. For example, if you have an import-export functionality and you want to export via Word document or via Excel, this again is splitting by paths. You could split by path, so first the Word and then the Excel document. There are a lot of other scenarios you could use splitting by paths. So let's jump back to our user story and the acceptance criteria. Let's have a look on the fifth one. The user can manage client data. First, what does manage mean? In IT, our operations are to create, read, update and delete data. Based on the meaning of manage, we could split this story into operations, like in one story for creating, one for reading, one for updating and one for deleting. So we have also split by operations. And if you have a look on the last acceptance criteria, that the user is able to perform this action in Google Chrome and Microsoft Edge browser, here you can split by the user interface. By the interface, the user is interacting with our system. In this case, the browser. So one user story is for the Google Chrome one, and another one is for the Microsoft Edge. But we could also imagine splitting via the native app and our website, or splitting via iOS and Android. So there are many various scenarios a user can perform these actions via an interface. And there also we can do a split. So let's summarize everything up. How can we split user stories very easily? The first thing is per acceptance criteria. Take this as a basis. Then we can go by paths in a workflow. We can split by operations, create, read, update and delete. And lastly, by the user interfaces, a user interacting with the platform. Alright, if that helps you out, let me know in the comments below. Please smash the like button and take care. See you the next time. Bye bye.